Do me start off for you? Thank you. Let's start. Good evening. My name is Daryl Parks. I'm the law firm of Parks and Crump in Tallahassee, and we represent the Trayvon Martin family. We are very, very, very saddened, but we accept the jury's verdict in this case. First and foremost, on behalf of Tracy Martin and Sabrina Fulton, who are just heartbroken, really, right now. We ask that you keep them in your prayers. At this time, Attorney Crump will make a statement, and then we'll take just a very few questions.
Hi, I'm here along with Attorney Jasmine Rand, Attorney Natalie Jackson, Attorney Cheyenne Medeiros, and Attorney Daryl Parks. Sabrina Fulton and Tracy Martin would like to thank all of the supporters throughout the nation and the world, to everybody that attended a rally, to the millions of people that signed petitions, to the prosecution, Ms. Angela Corey, Mr. Bernie Delarande, Attorney John Guy, and Mr. Rich Manti, and everybody from the prosecutor's office, to everybody that put their hoodies up, and to everybody who said, "I am Trayvon." His family expressed their heartfelt gratitude for helping them these past 17 months. To Tracy and Sabrina, Trayvon's parents, your tireless work in the name of your son has made Sanford and many other cities just a little safer for all our children. I know Trayvon is up there proud at the changes that you as his parents have inspired in his name. This morning, Martin Luther King's daughter, Dr. Bernice King, tweeted me a message that read, "Today is a defining moment for the status of my father's dream." Whatever the Zimmerman verdict is, she tweeted, "In the words of my father, we must conduct ourselves on the higher plane of dignity and discipline." Trayvon Martin will forever remain in the annals of history next to Medgar Evers and Emmett Till as symbols for the fight for equal justice for all. Tracy and Sabrina are thankful for all those prayers over the past 17 months since the death of their son. This is a very trying time for their family, and we ask that you respect their privacy. In conclusion, for Trayvon to rest in peace, we must all be peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Yes.
Hi. Amanda Evans, News 13. Mr. Crump, the defense gave you a hard time throughout this. They just said moments ago that your first interview with Rachel Gentile was made for TV but not for an investigation. Your thoughts on that?
You know, it's easy to go back in a vacuum. Miss Gentile, God bless her, she did not want to get involved in this matter in no way possible. And so I think it's pretty well documented about the challenges we had to try to get her to do an interview. And finally, we got her to agree to do a telephone interview. And we did that interview the best we could to make sure that we had her statement. And Trayvon's parents are thankful that she did come forward to act as a witness in this case, something she did not want to do.
Stephanie Culp with West 2 News. Does it bother you when people say this case is not about race?
No, it doesn't. But, the whole world was looking at this case for a reason. And what people wanted to see, as we all said, how far we have come in America in matters of equal justice. And certainly, as we have said, we'll be intellectually dishonest if we didn't acknowledge the racial undertones in this case. So we have to have very responsible conversations about how we get better as a country and move forward from this tragedy and learn from it.
Mr. Crump, Danny Morales of the Valencia Voice here. Could you just give us a little bit of insight on why the Martins weren't in the courtroom for the verdict reading?
Upon our advice, we knew that this would be a very emotional time for them. As you know, they have sat here for 4 weeks, and I don't know how hard it was. We were with them every step of the way. What they had to endure, the pain of hearing gunshot after gunshot after gunshot, same call, faces of their son in the morgue time and time again, as late as yesterday. Upon our advice, we recommended to them that they should go home and attend their home church since we were going into Sunday. So upon our advice, they went home to go to church tomorrow, and that's what they'll do.
Mr. Crump, Mr. Parks.
Question, yes.
Hello. I think, Mr. Parks, you may have answered this question in part, but I'll ask again if I can. Where was the family when the announcement was made in court tonight? And did they skip this because they expected a particular outcome?
Well, I'll just say for security, they were in a safe location and remain in a safe location. They will be going to church tomorrow, though, but I won't disclose their location at this time for security purposes.
Any more questions? Please remember that this is a very challenging time for their family, and please respect their privacy. Thank you.
May I ask one last question? I'm sorry. I asked the same question of the prosecution, and it's a question that came up during the trial the prosecutors raised. Do you think the outcome would have been different if the races were reversed? If George Zimmerman was black and Trayvon Martin was white?
And 7-year-old died.
Well, we know that a 17-year-old unarmed boy was killed, and I think all America has to dig deep in their heart to try to find out how we as a society can learn from this tragedy and how we can make sure that it's not repeated.
Just one more. Kyle Hightower from the Associated Press. It's for you, Natalie. You were born and raised in Sanford. You've been in this community. What do you say to the citizens of Sanford, people who may not, who like this verdict tonight? I mean, obviously, a lot of people are worried about some things happening. What do you say about your city and how do you think they'll receive this news tonight?
What I say is what I told Sabrina and Tracy. I sent them a text and I told them, I said, I listened to the sheriff's press conference yesterday, and he noted all these changes that had been made in the wake of the shooting of Trayvon Martin. And there is a victory in that. There was a child died, and I think that because people took to social media and because 2.2 million Americans signed a petition on change.org and demanded, not in an effort to persecute George Zimmerman, but in an effort to say that a black 17-year-old child should be able to walk home from the store and not be shot.
Yes.
So I think for the people who did that, I don't want them to be discouraged because I think they may have saved the life of another child. Because I think that from now on, if there is someone that wants to follow someone with a gun, I think they'll think twice about it. And so for those people, I say thank you for everything. And Sanford is changed for the better. And I think that, there is grace and dignity in what these people did in the peaceful protests.
Thank you.